Thank you so much, Mr. President. I waited 8 years to make this speech. One of the very first remarks that I had the honor of making in 2009 was around 2261, sort of the first bills that set in motion the McCleary situation. And it is historic, and the hour is late, and there's sort of a somber seriousness about the work we're doing. And I think there's a deep sense of reflection that there's a historical element to this that's incredibly important. Every one of the schools in my district is bursting at the seams. And my own 4 children between ages 10 and 19 have enjoyed a fabulous education on one level, but have struggled on many others. That we have it within us to improve the quality and the support and the infrastructure of all of our schools statewide. 1.1 million elementary, middle, and high school kids deserve the best of our energy, our entrepreneurialism, the deep sense of creativity that pervades throughout our state. And you know, the fact is that I've been working like everyone here for so long to find a way to improve move into a modern 21st century education system. And we know that we need structural reform, both on the spending side to get the kind of outcomes we need. We want to go from 32nd in the nation to the top 10 in the nation in high school graduation rate. That's what this is about, to give all of our kids that chance. And yet we find ourselves here, and in our conversation, we now pretend on some level as if this is really the only choice. We've never said that property taxes as one leg of the stool shouldn't be an important part of a comprehensive solution. We've never said that. It should be. And the good gentleman from Federal Way is absolutely right. The assessed value issues is a challenge. But the fact of the matter is that numbers matter and facts matter and data matters, and 70% of low-income people in King County are gonna see a tax increase. 74% of all the people in King County live in an area where their taxes are going up. So there's a perception, a cliche, a stereotype that this is about taxing rich folks in the big city. But it's just not. There is a net property tax increase of $2.1 billion. That's the net. So the gross is it goes up about 4.1, and then there's a reduction in some districts and not others. That's how we're funding this. So that net is $2.1 billion. And that's anywhere from $300, $400 in my district or more. And the fact of the matter is, we could have done something that was creative and genuine in terms of it being broad-based and fair and equitable. A component of property taxes, some element of progressivity associated with carbon, with capital gains, with closing some of the 694 tax breaks, preferences, and preferential rates. But we chose not to. There's not one business in this state that doesn't win in terms of lower taxes in this deal. And the middle class is gonna feel it deeply and seriously. The middle class is gonna feel this in a very real way. It could have been a component of it, and yet the entire weight, the entire obligation, the entire bill is being sent to middle class, seniors, working folks, and renters, and so many others. And we have lots of people, not just in Seattle, but not just King County, but Pierce County, it's no mystery. We have lots of people who effectively are house rich and cash poor because we've had an explosion in the last 10, 15 years of value in homes. But they haven't moved and the house hasn't changed. And that property tax bill is a meaningful piece of the affordability anxiety. And we're better than this, to put all of that burden in a state with the most regressive tax system in the nation, all of the burden exclusively on the middle class. We're better than this. We could have made it fair, we could have made it equitable, and we could have made it widespread. And so the impact would have been much more modest instead of so impactful on middle-class taxpayers. I have to say, I appreciate and I respect the fervency of the majority party in staying true to its belief that the middle class needed to pay this bill. We haven't closed any tax breaks of meaningful size. We haven't done anything. We haven't asked anyone else to contribute. Hundreds of millions of dollars in business taxes will be reduced. Hundreds of millions in this deal. And yet a retired grandma in Ballard will see hundreds of dollars of increase in a home that she's lived in for 20 years. We're better than this. I appreciate the hard work. The spending plan is incredibly thoughtful. It is responsible, and it takes us so much further. And yes, we should buy down some of the high assessed districts. No question, that should be a component of it. To put that entire bill on that grandma in the middle class is just not right. And I appreciate that we are moving forward, but this middle class property tax increase is just too much, too high, too unfair, and too narrowly applied. I very much appreciate the hard work of those who have given this all that they have. We could have done something better. We could have been more fair. We chose not to, and I very much regretfully and sadly must vote against this.